Welcome to the Spanish Grand Prix. Now, I guess you're wondering why I'm slogging my way up a steep hill in the middle of Spain in 30-degree heat. Well, I was wondering that myself. I guess I'll find out when I get to the top. This is why, the circuit of Talavera de la Reina, and here we're about level with the highest part of this track. As far as elevation goes, this natural track is one of the most severe on the calendar, but that's what makes it so much fun. Last year, Clement de Sal took a double win here, while Max Nagel was injured at the time, so has therefore never been to this circuit. With those two trading blows at the top of the championship, a similar result here for de Sal could see the red plate switch once more to the Rockstar Energy Suzuki rider. We've got so much for you this weekend, so much to see, do and talk about. Round 6 of the MXGP World Championship is gonna be off the hook. To see so many people out meeting the MXGP riders in the centre of Talavera. And it's even better news that we have a Spanish rider making his debut in the MX2 class. It's Jorge Zaragoza. Jorge, hi. Where have you been?
Yeah, I have an injury, in my back.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. But finally I'm here in Talavera, back racing, so we see this weekend how it's going.
And it could perhaps be the best place to make your debut in MX2, but it could perhaps be the place with most pressure, couldn't it? You're very popular tonight.
Yeah, it's really nice to come back here in Spain. I have all the support of the fans, so that's incredible.
Best of luck, Jorge, for this weekend. I think you better get back signing those autographs. Time now for our GoPro track preview with fellow Spaniard Jose Patron and Dean Ferris.
Jose Antonio Butron, number 17, KTM Marketing Racing.
Dean Ferris, 111, Wilbo Nestan, Husqvarna Factory Racing.
It's quite a wide start straight here at Talavera de la Reina, but it soon tightens up as we head through the right-left chicane into turn 2, over the Fox whole shot line. And then as we come out of the second turn, we head up slightly through turn 3 onto a plateau and then climb steeply uphill into turn 4 that drops away on the other side. Then we head back uphill through a shallow valley, hooking a gear or two, depending on what size machine you're on, before turning left, dropping down and back up the circuit, almost like being on a roller coaster ride here in Spain. The camera really doesn't do the circuit any justice at all. These hills are a lot steeper than it looks. That was a new step up into this top left-hander. Then we head down the two very steep drop-offs into the sweeping right-hander, and we head underneath the Monster Energy banner, and we have a new set of waves here. You can double through there. And then we turn slightly right up into the left-hander, the furthest corner away from the start line. Drops away steeply on the descent as well. And then through this sweeping left-hander over the first of three tabletops. 20, 23 and 25 metres. The last one under the Epon banner. Right in front of some of the main crowd here. Then we hit the sweeping bank left-hander. And then we start to climb up once again through this right-hander. Continuing to climb through, right, and then over a small drop-off, but it's very steep on the descent. Hard on the brakes at the bottom. Second gear, third gear, over the first of two scrub hills. A nice plateau takes the riders down through a sweeping turn and eventually over a double jump on the turn. Choice of lines through this next right-hander, a new single jump into this tight left, just to upset the balance of suspension. Then we go right, head back uphill. This is the second of the scrub hills. The riders opting to either stay low or jump long through there. The penultimate turn takes us over a tabletop, and the final turn takes us under the bridge and over the Monster Energy finish line jump, where we rejoin down the start straight to start another lap. And Jose Boutron has normally been the king of the Fox hole shots, but things haven't been going his way in that department this year.
I think it is not about the bike, about training. It is about yourself, about the confidence to take the whole shot in the first corner. I think always about my program, about training better, make my riding better, my bike better. I'm very happy this year about my team, about the bike, about everything. Last year I played a lot with my kilos, you know, MX2, like 2 kilos. I was less than this year. This year I can eat more, make my muscle a little bit bigger, stronger for the bigger bikes. Many good riders, everybody's training a lot, but I think I am one of them who can make it good. Even myself, I expect a lot of more. I think I will do some races. I don't know if here in Talavera or another track, but for sure I will fight like I did the last 5 years.
Confident as ever for Jose Boutron, but he has a new teammate from this race, Christopher Valente, moving from Husqvarna to KTM in a last-minute move.
I changed team after Valkenswaard 2 weeks ago. It's a big change for me. We changed everything. I'm lucky because the bike Husqvarna and KTM is quite the same. I want to give my best. All the team is behind me, believe in me. But everything changed for me. Now I live in Belgium. I stay in Belgium with the team, not in Italy like before, and change mechanics and everything. But that's my choice. I think I do the best for me.
He's a stalwart of the team now, but the third rider, Ivo Monticelli, has struggled this year to get things to click into top gear. But things are looking up.
Now I have some problem in the first 10 minutes, you know. I start and a lot of guys pass me. I don't have rhythm in the first moment of the race, no? This year I start January with bike and I do different type of my workout, and I try to take a lot long moto, but I don't have so much speed, you know. There is balance, but you need to do all. But now I need more fast lap than long moto, because I have some problem in the freak practice to learn the track and to go really fast right now, you know. Now I have more confidence with because I training like these 2 weeks different training, and I think you can see me, I think, in the top 10 this race.
It's almost time to go racing with the MX2 class first, but watch out for the MXGP class, where the breaking news is where Antonio Cairoli has abandoned his traditional 350 KTM for more power in the 450. But first is MX2 Race 1.
On a hot weekend in Spain for this 6th round of the MX2 World Championship. It was number 59, Alexander Tonkov, who took the foxhole shot in race 1, but as he came out of turn 2 and into turn 3, Jeffrey Hurlings was already in the lead as Jeremy Seward collided with Benoit Paturel. Jeffrey Hurlings and his teammate, Paul's Jonas, were in first and second as Tim Geiser fell, and so too did Dylan Ferrandis. Ferrandis would not rejoin the race. Geiser would get back to 11th. Max Anstey was on the charge and got himself into second and went after the number 84 of Jeffrey Hurlings, while meanwhile down in 10th position was the number 95 of Robert Juss, and he was being pushed by the 18 of Brilyakov and the 152 of Petrov, Monticelli, and Geiser just off the back of that group as well, in what was a bit of a freight train in this MX2 race for much of the race. Seward got himself to the front of that group and eventually came home in 10th as the number 1 of Jordi Tixier made this move on the 41 of Jonas to get himself into 3rd, which is where the defending world champion would stay until the checkered flag. As the circuit started to dry out from the heavy watering prior to the race, Jeffrey Hurlings started to ease clear of Max Anstey. And it was Jeffrey Hurlings who was once again supreme around this Talavera circuit in the first race, and the Red Bull KTM factory rider took a convincing win in race 1. Max Anstey on the Monster Energy DRT Kawasaki came home second. It was a Monster Energy Kawasaki of Tixier in 3rd. After a convincing display in the qualifying race that he won first time out on the 450, Tony Cairoli was squeezed to the inside as Max Nagel grabbed the foxhole shot on the Red Bull Ice 1. Husqvarna, De Sal and Todd Waters and Dean Ferris were right there in close pursuit through the first few turns. Nagel and De Sal tried to pull clear of Cairoli, who was being left behind on the big bike. A little bit further back, and Tony Cairoli made this pass on Dean Ferris, who was giving the Italian a bit of a rough ride, but eventually that pass stuck and Cairoli had clear track and tried to close down on the leading duo. Roman Fevre was having a decent ride as well for Yamaha Factory Racing. He was in 4th for much of the race, ahead of Gauthier Paulin and Evgeny Bobryshev. But Paulin had a bit of work to do though. Made this pass on Tyler Rattray, while his teammate Bobryshev made this aggressive move at the bottom of the hill to fly past Todd Waters, the second of the Red Bull Ice 1 Husqvarnas. Tyler Rattray on the Monster Energy Kawasaki eventually found his way past the Australian to get himself into 7th. Whilst back from injury, Kevin Strybos made that move on Stephen Frossard. That got him 9th. Strybos eventually came home in 8th. Jose Boutron, the only Spaniard in the race, had a tough one, came home in 17th. But all eyes, once again, on the championship leader, Max Nagel, as he started to ease clear of 25 on the Rockstar Energy Suzuki Clement de Sal. De Sal, though, despite getting close on a number of occasions, was never really able to get close enough to make the pass stick. And it was Nagel who cruised home to victory in race 1 from Clement de Sal and Tony Cairoli. February 4th, Gauthier Paulin was 5th. It was an explosive start in MX2 Race 2 as Benoit Paturel, Sever Brylyakov and Brent Van Donnick all touched bars and crashed out spectacularly halfway down the start straight. But it was Dylan Ferrandis, number 4 on the Monster Energy Kawasaki, who grabbed the Fox hole shot. Julien Lieber and Valentin Guillot were right there on the 2 standing construct Yamahas, though, as Tim Geiser was hanging around 10th place, just behind Jeffrey Hurlings and Pauls Jonas. Jeffrey Hurlings had this big moment and was very lucky to pick himself up and rejoin the race. He picked himself up in 19th and went to work despite his bike being bent out of shape. Tixier went after Julien Lieber and his race was made a little bit easier when the young Belgian fell out of 3rd, handing that 3rd place to the factory Kawasaki rider. Hurlings had caught and passed the 99 of Max Anstey and was challenging all of a sudden for the top step of the podium. He made that move on Tonkov. That got him up into 7th, which is where he would stay. And towards the end of the race, out of nowhere, Tim Geiser on the Garibaldi Honda had worked his way up into a challenging position. He went past Ferrandis to take 2nd, whilst that was the pass for the lead. Valentin Guillot on Ferrandis. 92, Valentin Guillot on the standing construct Yamaha took his first ever race victory in MX2. And at that stage, he didn't know that he'd also won the overall Grand Prix. Hurlings came home a credible 7th, but that was enough for 2nd overall. And just behind him was Jordi Tixier in 3rd. And Hurlings continues to lead the championship. He's now 56 points clear of Ferrandis, but for standing construct, their 2nd ever Grand Prix, their first as an official Yamaha factory team.
Well, this weekend I've seen spend a lot of time walking up hills, haven't I, Dean Ferris? But this time it's to gain a little bit of perspective. So we're going to talk about last year and about your injury. You broke your leg quite badly, didn't you? Do you think perhaps it's affected your performance at the start of the season this year?
I really hoped it wouldn't, but yeah, for sure it has. I broke it September last year, and I really hoped in the off-season that I would get over the injury and I could come out swinging at round 1, but yeah, I got on the bike really late and the first 3 rounds were really close to each other, so it was hard to make any progress. But since then, I feel I've made progress, but it's still a long way back to where I want to go for sure.
It's so easy for people to gloss over the effect an injury has like that, not only on your racing, but also your personal life.
You know, I did it at the end of the season, which, you know, if you're going to have a big injury, is probably the best time to do it. But then at the same time, you don't get to really have an off season. Like for me, it was training and rehab every day. The injury is still not 100% healed, and I mean that, yeah, the bone is and it's strong, you know, but there's still things you can't do, even little things like just irritate you. You know, if you want to run around with the dog in the backyard, it's not quite, or I'm not quite as nimble as I used to be.
Injury aside, you're on the same bike, but you're with a different team this year. Has that made a difference to you?
Essentially, yeah, like essentially it's the same bike. Obviously, two different teams like to do things a little different with the bike. You know, the FC350 is capable of a podium or good results at least, and yeah, I look forward to, you know, making progress and getting that bike closer to the front.
You say making progress. When will we see the form that you showed last year in Finland when you almost made the podium?
I wish I knew. You know, hopefully this weekend, and maybe the next weekend or the weekend after. But you know, I'll keep pushing until you know, I'll get back to where I'm at, and obviously I keep pushing to do better and better than that.
Thanks, Dean. Time for the last race. It's the finale of the day. MXGP Race 2.
Behind the gates, it's always hot, especially this GP in Spain. We try to have some fresh air with the ventilator before the start to cool down. When the 5-second board came up, it goes really quick, so you try to catch the best line you can have. When you are on the pack, it's pushing everywhere, and just you need to hold to pass those 3 corners. I decide to even if it costs a lot of energy, to make the pass on Bobrichev and Nagel. To pass somebody, it's like a rider, even if it's Nagel, Keroli or De Salle. I was cutting the corner before to went on the inside, so my line was, I think, better. I saw De Salle coming on the front and yeah, hurting pretty hard the ground. When I took the second place, I said to myself, yeah, just ride easy, save some energy because the race is really long and it was hot. Yeah, I was catching in 2 laps Keroli, and I was thinking he's slow down to have some energy at the end, but yeah, it wasn't, so I decided to make the pass on him. On this race, I think I have the flow. When I make the mistake, I stole the bike in the corner. I was a little bit angry, but yeah, you know, it's my fault, only my fault. When Keroli passed me, I lost a little bit the rhythm, and just I didn't have the speed as before, so I decided to cool down a little bit, some few laps, and to try again, but yeah, it was a little bit faster. First, I was not sure that I was on the podium, so because my mechanic didn't write me on the peer board to don't put pressure on myself. So I was a little bit tired, but when I passed the finish line and I saw third on the plate, yeah, it was pretty amazing feeling. Yeah, it's amazing feeling when you are on the box with the champagne. Yeah, you know that you did the job. So it's yeah, it's really nice. It's really nice. I hope to have many more this year.
It was a bumper day for Yamaha. Valentin Guillot with his maiden win, and congratulations to Tony Cairoli for breaking his 8-race losing streak, but only just. The season is marching on, and next up is my home Grand Prix, round 7 at Matterley Basin, Great Britain. So I say goodbye from Talavera and leave you with some of the best bits from the MXGP of Spain.